What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So today I wanted to talk about patience, what it means, right? So let's get into it because we have an awesome quote here. Quote of the day: patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Definition of patience. Song of the day, Hereafter by Architects. So, full disclosure, your boy is a bad speller. That's not a joke. That's not something me trying to be relatable. I am a bad speller. I have many typos. I have many incorrect grammar sentences. I'm a great speaker, right? But as far as the English language, that's something still at this 36 years of age, I'm still juggling and trying to manage, right? So I look up a lot of words to make sure I'm spelling them right because dyslexia, distractions, not being a good speller, whatever you want to call it, letters tend to move around in my head when I'm writing, right? Like, do I spell angry with the G before the N or whatever? So I'm telling you that to tell you this, not just to make fun of myself and have a good laugh because it is hilarious, but also to say I was looking up the word patience for another quote that I was putting together. It's actually a quote that I've done in the past, and I wanted to extend on it. I wanted to do more on it, right? I'm looking up the word patience, and when I'm looking it up, I happen to read the definition of it. And now my energy is shifted because I'm sitting here and I'm reading this definition and I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's a little bit different than what I've been thinking it's been all this time. I encourage you to look up the words that you use on a day to day or that you use that other people. I encourage you to look up words definitions because they will have a powerful impact on you. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. See, that first part, a lot of us have no problem with. Absolutely no problem with accepting or tolerating when something doesn't go our way, when we have a delay, when it was supposed to take 5 minutes and it's taking 20, when we have trouble, when we walk outside and the car has a flat, when we walk to the bus stop and guess what? That bus ain't coming. This is trouble. When we buy something from the grocery store and never get to put it in the bag, this is trouble. I paid for it. This is trouble, right? So we accept or tolerate it, right? Suffering, having to stay late at work, having to come in early, having a longer shift than it should be, having to work short-handed, right? Having more work than we needed to. Suffering, having to deal with a professor that is giving us more work than we think we really need to grasp this subject, to grasp this topic, this class that we're being taught. Suffering, having to do more burpees to get those abs, having to sacrifice more meals to suffering, having to put up with a said loved one's attitude because their families after the suffering. We are okay with accepting or tolerating delay, trouble, or suffering. That part we have no problem with. And then people say, well, I have patience because I put up with it. But let's talk about the second part of the definition: getting without getting angry or upset. Wow. That changes it, doesn't it? See, because what is the definition if we just accept delay and trouble or suffering? Because I need to know what that means. I need to know that word because a lot of people have that. They're able to accept delay, trouble, or suffering, but they don't do it without getting upset or angry or pissed off or copping an attitude. See, if you're putting up with it, cool. All of us put up with it. If you're accepting it, that's cool. We all have to accept it. It's part of the process. But the character, the champions, the leaders, the examples, the idols, the ones who rise above it all are the ones who do without getting angry or getting upset. See, now I've moved into another lane because I'm not talking to y'all right now. I'm talking to myself. I put up with a lot of things. I can tolerate a lot of things. I can tolerate a lot of pain. I can overcome a lot of obstacles. I can go through a lot of drawbacks. I can come through a lot of setbacks, a lot of things. But what does my attitude look like? What does your attitude look like, Catalyst? What does your attitude look like, Willie? What does your attitude look like when you're going through that stuff? Are you doing it without getting angry or upset? Are you doing it without copping an attitude? Without getting pissed off? Without telling someone something that you could have said nicer? That's the definition right there of patience. Being able to do it without getting in your emotions. Being able to do it like you still love it. Being able to do it with the attitude of joy, with thanksgiving, with gratitude. To be thankful for the obstacle. To be thankful for the setback. To be thankful for the opponent. You should look at trouble and you should say, Lord, I thank you for the ability and for the opportunity to exercise and demonstrate my power over this situation. Oh, I'm telling you, when I looked at when I saw this definition, oh, it changed my whole spirit this morning. It gave me a different kind of energy this morning. I'm fired up this morning. Oh, I'm going to be patient. See, that right there is when people start to ask you, well, what's in your cup? What are you drinking? What formula do you have down? That's when you start to attract the things in your life. Not just when you're able to overcome it, not just when you're able to conquer it, not just when you're to accept or tolerate it, but to do it without getting angry or getting upset. To do it without being in your emotions. To do it with an attitude of gratitude. I challenge you today to develop your patience. I challenge you today to seek out your patience. I challenge you today to get control over your situation so that the world, so that your allies, that your superiors, even your opponents will look at you and say, man, that guy has patience. Man, that girl has patience. Man, that person, they are the definition of patience. All right, guys, I need you to take care of yourselves. Please, please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.